if you're trying to get it mass adopted, right, where it's like everyone has to do it, that also has to apply to that guy in the hills of Appalachia who's still running off of like maybe not electricity. Maybe he's got, you know, just like a really low key setup and living a perfectly fine, legitimate life, and he just doesn't have that level of tech adopted. Do you think he is using CBDCs anytime soon or anything but cash? No. And there won't be a system. I mean, at least in my lifetime, I doubt that cash just disappears because of those kinds of things. You have to get the lowest common denominator up, and we have yet to find a lowest common denominator to adopt exclusively electronic funds. We're still using cash. So many people are still using cash. Wasn't there a time in our history where like Pablo Escobar had more cash in his reserves than the U.S. government did?
Yes.
Like in actual cash?
Yeah.
So even if the U.S. gets rid of the cash, do you think other countries are going to just not use it? Because we will still have to accept it. It says it on the dollar that it is required to be accepted for a debt. You know, like this is legal tender in the U.S. So at least in our lifetimes, I just don't think physical cash is going anywhere, which I don't think it should. I think people just like they reserve gold, they reserve cash. They're going to reserve CBDCs, I'm sure, bonds. This is just another form of transacting, engaging in this space, I think, in the world.
Yeah. Cash, the issue with cash is that from one, like, or with fiat currencies, is that in any given moment, the government that's backing that currency could either inflate it or disinflate it or just decide to not accept it at all. I believe there's a country in Africa right now, I don't remember the one, that's like not accepting
their own currency, like $50, like $50 bills, whatever the denomination is, and people are, at least at that point, who's going to accept that bill if the government or the banks aren't going to accept it?
That's really fair, but I suspect people in that country maybe saw that coming and were operating off of another currency to begin with. If the U.S. gets to that point, like it's just like the least of our problems. If the U.S. gets to the point where it's like, look, we as a government don't even trust the U.S. dollar anymore, we have gone so far off the rails. Absolutely. And I think as a society, we've got some other concerns we're probably battling in that moment. And we're probably grateful for like other things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, or any other stable coin or any other country's coin. Like the pound is usually pretty strong. Great. Long live England for that reason, right? Like people hold reserves of our currency, other currency, in cash and in electronic funds. So, you know, it's just about people talk about diversifying their portfolio in the stock market. Diversify your currency portfolio, because if you're not sure who's going to win, and there's a lot of talk about the U.S. losing this, you know, tech race or the strength of the U.S. dollar. If you are that concerned, diversify then. This is 2023. It has never been easier ever to get your hands on any other currency or to just not be here. It's just never been easier.
It's true.
True on both of those,
Yeah. It's like, it's people are extra scared about the world, but it's like, it's never been easier to interact with the world. So people should just, if you don't like it, go.
Leave.
Yeah, just like check something else out. Spread the joy among multiple currencies if you're that concerned, because it's just never been easier. This isn't the 70s where you've got to go to your bank and ask for permission and handwrite something out. This is 2023 where we can just click a button, connect some accounts, and make some shit happen.
Yep. Absolutely. It's all about diversification.
Yeah. If you're really that concerned, just diversify and then wait it out and see what happens. But I mean, if you're that aware to be that concerned, you should probably just calm down and just build something. Like invest your time in something and trust that hard work will work out. And if not, then maybe you're just diversified and it works out anyway.
Fair enough. By the way, this is not any sort of financial advice.
It's never financial advice with
or
me.
Legal right now.
It's never legal advice. It's just
full
it's just a good conversation.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah.
Don't get ideas, guys.